afternoon. I am Winston John Romero Casio. I serve as a senior technical advisor for the Presidential Anti-Organized Crime Commission or PAOC. For PAOC, my work is basically mandated through the conduct of what is known as SOTA. SOTA stands for Serious and Organized Crime Threat Assessment. SOCTA is basically a framework that was devised by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. SOCTA takes a look at the baseline data from all of the law enforcement agencies in a particular country, in our case, the Philippines. Then we analyze the data, and after analyzing the data to be able to take a look at the trends, the modalities, the typologies, the modus operandi relative to some serious and organized crime, we assess them, we analyze them, and we make recommendations. It is important for every country to do a recommendation in as much as every country's strategies need to be evidence based. Not only that, every country's strategies against organized crime must likewise be evidence based. Now, why is that important? Well, napakahalaga po niyan in as much as the resources being used by any government in the fight against serious and organized crime is actually limited. So we need to be able to prioritize the fight against serious and organized crime. That way, the resources that we generate, the resources that we use against them can have better and the most beneficial effect. Now, let us put some definitions first. Let us present some definitions. What does serious and organized crime mean? Well, basically, serious crime would mean any type of crime that would merit temporary deprivation of liberty by no less than 18 months or up. Okay. On the other hand, when we talk of organized crime, we're talking of crimes committed by two or more criminal elements for the purpose of generating profit. But unlike ordinary type index crimes, organized crime has more wide-ranging effect in terms of time and in terms of space relative to any country's political, economic, and national security. So, ibig sabihin, yung ordinaryong krimen na ginagawa ng isang grupo ng magkakaibigan na mayroong criminal intent para let us say mag-conduct ng robbery hold-up sa ilang mga kainan sa kanilang barangay, hindi po yun matatawag na organized crime kapag panandalian at biglaan lamang nilang ginagawa at tumitigil din sila eventually. Kasi magiging organized crime lamang po siya kapag naging pangmatagalan yung kanilang pagsasagawa ng krimen. At dahil sa pangmatagalan nga ang paggawa nila ng krimen, nagkakaroon din ng pangmatagalang epekto doon sa economic, political, at maging sa national security ng isang bansa para matawag na organized crime yan. Kaya dito sa bayan natin, hindi masyadong marami yung matatawag nating organized criminal groups. Mangilan-ngilan lamang sapagkat ang ibang mga criminal groups pagkatapos ng ilang panahon natitigil sila, nahuhuli, kaya hindi sila nagtatagal sa kanilang mga krimeng ginagawa. So that's why they don't graduate to the level of organized criminal groups. Now, bakit nagkaroon tayo ng ganong pagpapasimula in this particular discussion? When our discussion is on pyramid scams and other investment schemes, enforcement and prosecution strategies to combat them. Well, napakahalaga pong pag-usapan ang serious and organized crime sapagkat itong mga financial crimes na tinatawag natin ito, pyramid scams, iba pang klase mga investment schemes na ito, hindi po ito magagawa ng isang ordinaryong tao lamang. Ito po ay pinagpaplanuhan ng maigi kung kaya't ito ay matatawag na isang uri ng organized crime na kinakailangang bigyan natin ng pagtugon. If not, it would seriously hamper our country's economic security. So, let us begin. For this particular discussion, meron ho tayong sinet na mga targets na tinatawag. Ito po ang susundan nating presentation targets. Well, first of all, we would introduce what Ponzi schemes are, what pyramid scams are, as well as boiler room operations. Bakit ho tayo nagpasimula sa ganitong klaseng discussion? Well, because many professionals, many Filipino professionals, be they in the government service or be they in the private service, marami sa kanila ang nabibiktima nitong mga pyramid, mga Ponzi scams at saka mga boiler room operations na ito. So malay natin, baka hindi pa ninyo alam na meron kayong mga kakilala dyan or mga kapitbahay, mga kamag-anak who have actually become victims of these particular types of investment schemes. For all you know, you just receive text messages and you think that these text messages are actually harmless, or you receive emails which you think to be harmless, when in fact they're not harmless at all. Might as well that you become familiarized with this type of scams so that when you do receive this type of recruitments, this type of inducements, this type of text messages or emails from this financial criminals, you'll be able to identify offhand, right there and then. Unang tingin pa lang, makita na ninyo na kayo ay sinusubukang biktimahin ng ganitong klase ng financial crimes. Sa susunod, bilang mga participants, magtitinan po natin pahapyaw ang mga salient features ng ating tinatawag na Consumer Act of the Philippines, maging yung ating Securities Regulation Code, maging yung ibang mga provisions ng RPC, primarily on estafa. Ngayon, bibigyan din po natin kayo ng ilang mga practical tips on how to be able to detect and avoid these particular types of crimes. Sapagkat ngayon pa lamang po, sasabihin ko na sa inyo na kapag kayo po ay naging pabaya at hinayaan ninyong mabiktima kayo ng ganitong klase ng mga investment schemes, I tell you offhand that once you input your money, once you give these individual criminals access to your money, I tell you it's gonna be very difficult, if not totally impossible, for you to retrieve your money from them. Well, primarily because you'd have to sue them. And as you sue them, you'd have to spend additional amount of money. For all intents and purposes, the amount of time, money, and effort that you might use to be able to go after these investment criminals may be more than what you have invested in the first place. Unless, of course, ang investment mo runs into the millions or hundreds of millions or probably billions of pesos. Kaya it's quite important that you get familiarized with these particular investment scams so that you don't get victimized by them. Because again, I'd have to repeat it. If you do get victimized by these financial or investment scams, it's going to be difficult, if not outrightly impossible, to get your money back. So, prevention is better than cure. Sabi nga nila, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. Now, likewise, we would go into a cursory discussion of how the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as the Department of Trade and Industry, conduct their investigations on these particular types of investment scams. So, well, basically for corporations, it would have to be the Securities and Exchange Commission, while if the businesses are sole proprietorships, then it would have to fall under the Department of Trade and Industry. For many of you who are business owners, for many of you who work for corporations or businesses, I would imagine that you are a little bit familiar. You might be quite familiar as to the dealings within the SEC and the DTI. Okay, so again, there are three types of very popular investment schemes na tinatawag. First would be what we call as pyramid schemes. Now, basically, pyramid schemes derive from the mathematical figure pyramid. No, so basically, yung tatsulok nga, manipis, matulis yung tuktok, malapad yung base. So from that particular mathematical figure, you would imagine what this particular scheme is. Ibig sabihin, yung mga nasa baba, yung mga nasa base, yung malapad na base na yan, they are the ones from whom the money, the investment scam begins. Primarily because you have to do a lot of recruitment. You recruit a lot of people to fill in the base. Marami kayong i-recruit ng mga tao na siyang pupuno doon sa base na yon. And the persons in the lower base would, yung pera ng mga taong nandoon sa lower base ang siyang gagamitin para kumita yung mga taong nandoon sa upper level niya, and so on and so on and so forth. As you go higher into the pyramid, you would imagine na mas kakaunti na lang yung tao na nandun sa tip, sa tuktok, sa tip or sa top. So ibig sabihin, there is a very small likelihood of people earning from this particular type of investment schemes. No? So it's typically a scam. So Ponzi, before we go to Ponzi schemes and boiler room operations, basically, ano ang mga profile ng mga taong nabibiktima ng ganitong klase ng krimen? Well, anybody who has the money can get victimized by these particular types of financial crime. It's as simple as that. No? So, A, B, C sectors. Well, A, basically, the upper class, they get victimized at times. At times. So yung Ponzi scheme, I do recall a few years back, a very famous case that involved one of the most prolific Ponzi scheme manipulator of all time. He goes by the name Bernie Madoff. Si Bernard Madoff, if you have time to take a look at Dr. Google, isa po siya sa pinakasikat na negosyante sa New York Stock Exchange before siya ma-discover bilang isang Ponzi scheme manipulator. So ano nga bang Ponzi scheme? Basically, ang Ponzi scheme, you get money from investor A, promising investor A that you would invest the money that he has given you in some stock or in some business. And then, that particular investment invested in that stock, in that business, would generate an income. And then with the principal supposedly intact, with the principal supposedly secured, ang ibibigay sa iyo ng stockbroker mo like Mr. Madoff, supposedly ay yung income or your return of investment based on the principal that you invested in the first place. But in a Ponzi scheme, that's not what happens. In a Ponzi scheme, investor A invests money, thinking that his money will earn a return of investment based on a sound investment decision made by a manipulator like Mr. Madoff. Pero sa katotohanan, hindi yon ang gagawin ni Madoff. Ng isang Ponzi scheme manipulator, ang gagawin niya, magre-recruit siya ng investor B. So yung pera di umano, ang akala ni investor A, kumikita yung kanyang pera, ang perang tumubo, yung pinantutubo ng kanyang pera, nanggaling doon sa pera ni investor B. So si investor B naman, dahil nag-iisip siyang kikita siya, si Mr. Madoff o yung Ponzi scheme manipulator, kukuha na naman ng investor C. At si investor C, yung pera na nanggaling kay investor C, ang siyang ibibigay doon kay Mr. Madoff, kay investor B, para di ono merong income yung kanyang investment, and so on and so forth. Now, what's the problem with Ponzi schemes? Eventually, the Ponzi scheme manipulator will run out of people to manipulate, will run out of people to recruit, so mawawalan siya ng steady stream of money para masustain yung di umano dapat kinikita ng kanyang mga investors pababa. Yung kinikita dapat investor C, B, at saka ni A. Diba? So, Yung boiler room operations naman, basically, bakit boiler? Kasi nasa loob sila ng isang kwarto, isang office space, at what they do is actually they just keep on calling people. So, meron silang opisina, may mga landlines or may mga mobile phones at nagtatawag sila sa mga tao. At ang kanilang pagtatawag ay para maingganyo yung kanilang tinatawagan na mag-invest doon sa kanilang naisip na panibagong negosyo. For example, let us say this boiler room operations is calling people to invest in a new type of drug against COVID-19. Then they call you. They'll dial your number, dial nila numero mo. Then, sasagutin mo. Pag sagot mo, you say hello. They'll say, hello, good afternoon, ma'am. This is Mr. So-and-so. I'm calling in behalf of Multivitamins Anti-COVID Corporation. Ma'am, sir, we've got a new investment opportunity for you. For a minimal investment of 1,000 pesos, you'd be able to get a share of stock, a share of an equity from one of the largest and biggest growing corporation producing drugs against COVID-19. In a matter of few months, your investment of 1,000 pesos or $1,000 would earn 20%, and so on and so forth. So that's their spiel. They'll make out of this world promises hoping to get access to your money para mag-invest ka dun sa kanila dahil ang sabi niya yung iyong investment na ganong pera ay kikita. So bakit boiler room? Sapagkat nung araw nung hindi pa nauso yung mga air conditioning units, basically, that's what the boiler room operation does. Nasa loob ng kwarto, tawag sila ng tawag, napakainit. Kaya boiler, mainit talaga yung lugar. Of course. Well, I think there was a movie a few years back or maybe in the 90s or early 2000. Ang title ng pelikula ay typically that, Boiler Room. So if you have time, you can go to Dr. Google or maybe go to YouTube channel and type boiler room movie and maybe you'll be able to take a look at how boiler room operations operates. So going back, so yung profile nga ng mga biktima can be anyone from economic sectors A, B, and C. Katulad yan ang nabanggit ko kanina, yung kay Mr. Bernie Madoff. Yung mga biktima niya, basically, they were from the A class. Steven Spielberg was victimized, for example, of a number of prolific businessmen. Kasi nga si Mr. Madoff, kung hindi ninyo kilala, he was for a time president of the New York Stock Exchange. New York Stock Exchange. So isipin mo na lang, itong taong ito, and if I am not mistaken, he was for a time member of a presidential council under the President of the United States. So pinagkakatiwalaan ng Presidente ng Amerika, pinagkakatiwalaan ng mga malalaking negosyante, kung kaya't hindi nakapagtataka na kapag ikaw nilapitan ka niya, anak ka ng tipaklong, talaga mapapabilib ka kasi kung ang Presidente ng Amerika naniniwala sa kanya, di ba? Ano ka pa? Di ba? So that was Bernie Madoff. Of course, mga middle class, mga professionals can also get victimized by this. Government employees. Bakit government employees? Well, 15/30 or every 10th of the month or 20th of the month, or 15th or 30th of the month, kung private sector employee ka, may income ka. So, may steady flow of income, kaya nakakainganyo para sa mga manipulators na ito, para sa mga investment scam artists na ito, na biktimahin ng ganitong klaseng mga tao. Kasi nga may steady flow of income. Of course, pati mga retirees sapagkat may mga pensyon, may mga tinatanggap. Di ba? In fact, hindi ko napapangalanan yung ibang mga investment scams na pumutok nitong mga nakaraang taon, mga nakaraang mga dekada. Karamihan sa mga nabiktima ay mga kapulisan, mga bumbero, mga jail guards, mga teachers, at iba pang mga government employees. Diba? Pumutok ang isang issue late last year tungkol sa isang investment scam sa isang city police office sa isang malaking syudad dyan sa Mindanao, kung saan ang di umano nag-inganyo para mag-invest sa pyramiding scheme ay that was a Ponzi scheme. Ang nag-inganyo ay mismong chief of police ng syudad na yon, kung di ako nagkakamali. So you can check that on Inquirer, you can check that on Philippine Star, Remate, Rappler, Manila Bulletin, Manila Standard. You can check it online. Nasa news po yan, nasa mga balita yan netong mga nakaraang ilang buwan pa lamang bago pumutok yung COVID. So basically, sino nga ba talaga ang binibiktima ng ganitong klaseng mga investment scam? Well, kahit sinong merong pera, kahit kakarampot na nga lang ang pera, ay pwedeng maging biktima. In fact, I have heard of some stories. Ilang mga tao, umuutang, lalo sa mga pyramid scams na yan. Kasi sa pyramid scams, kinakailangan mauna ka dun sa dulo eh. Kinakailangan, you must be one of the first investors, so to speak, para mabilis kumita ang pera mo. So what people do is, umuutang sila ng pera kung saan, bibili sila ng maraming ulo kung tawagin, bibili sila ng maraming slot. Tapos i-assign nila sa mga anak nila, i-assign nila doon sa kanilang mga pamangkin, mga kamag-anak basically. Diba? Hoping na, yung mga downline nila mag-generate pa ng income for them. Kasi sila nasa upline, sila ang kikita. Well, it's as simple as that. It's a scam. No? It's a scam. Anybody who's willing to partake of their money, kahit sinong willing mag-take ng risk, yan ang kalimitan na bibiktima ng ganitong klaseng mga investment scams na ito. Now let's take a look at this ballpark figure. This particular ballpark figure is actually taken from some data from the Securities and Exchange Commission, but this particular data are dated as of 2017 pa po itong data na ito. For example, the number of investors or basically victims ay hindi na ho bababa ng 250,000 conservative figure o pwedeng umabot ng hanggang 1 million investors ang nabiktima ng ganitong klase ng krimen, ganitong klase ng investment scam noong taong 2017. Tingnan naman po natin ang amount of money that has been allegedly gained by this type of investment scams. 5 billion pesos, conservative figure. 25 to 90 billion pesos, unofficial figure cited by the media. Single biggest loss reported, 1 billion pesos, somewhere in Binondo. The investor is supposedly from Binondo. So reported yon. Ang na-document with proper documentation, with proper verification, single biggest loss documented is 70 million pesos somewhere in Bel Air in Makati. So medyo malaki. So may magtatanong siguro, bakit yung single biggest loss na 1 billion doon sa Binondo reported lang, hindi na verified? Well, I really don't know because some of our friends, yung mga ethnic Chinese friends natin in that area, they're not necessarily open to these types of dealings. Baka hindi sila willing na makita yung kanilang mga business dealings, no? So if you could just imagine the amount of money involved here, medyo malaki, no? Hindi po siya biro. Kasi come to think of it, if you've got 10,000 individuals willing to partake 10,000 pesos, how much would that be? Right? So, kung meron kang base na 10,000 individuals na willing to partake, willing to invest in a scheme like that at 10,000 pesos, your 10,000 pesos times 10,000 individuals would amount to 100 million pesos. No? Yung 10,000 base mo, medyo maliit yun. Kasi some schemes are able to victimize as many as hundreds of thousands of individuals at any given time. Kaya pwedeng umabot talaga ng ganong kalaki ang kikitain. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Hindi kikitain. Ang perang pwedeng mawala. Okay, so tingnan na natin ng medyo mas malaliman ang mga individual investment schemes na ito. So, one, when we talk of pyramid scam, ang primary feature po talaga niya, binibigyan mo ng reward, you reward the participants for inducing other people to join the program. That's how they do it generally. But, pyramid scam artists, they're quite good. Kasi di umano, what they do is, for the amount of money that you invest, you actually receive some kind of commercial goods in exchange for that particular investment. Let us say, for your investment of 10,000 pesos as a member of this particular group, whatever group it may be, let us say Acme Investment Group. If you invest 10,000 pesos for Acme Investment Groups, you will get 10,000 pesos worth of commercial goods under Acme. Ano yung mga commercial goods nila? Well, pwedeng vitamins, multivitamins, pwedeng fruit juices, juice drinks, or any perishable item, any food items. Pwede ring mga non-food items like for 10,000 pesos, they'll give you yung mga comforters, they'll give you pillows, they'll give you blankets worth 10,000 pesos. Supposedly, they would induce you, they tell you, yung 10,000 pesos mong investment, pwede mong mabawi right there and then if you have the tenacity, if you have the patience to sell those items that you received in exchange for your 10,000 pesos investment. But, there is a but. May malaking but. Ang but ay ganito. They tell you upfront, right there and then, diretsahan, sasabihin nila sa inyo. Pero alam mo, kaibigan, mahirap talagang magbenta ng kumot. Mahirap talaga magbenta ng multivitamins. Mahirap talaga magbenta ng kung anuman. Kaya, para kumita ka at hindi lang mabawi yung 10,000 pesos mo, kung para kumita ka pa ng higit sa 10,000, mag-recruit ka din ng mga kaibigan mo, mga kapitbahay mo, mga kakilala mo, para mag-invest din ng 10,000 dito sa atin. Sila ang magiging downline mo. At bawat downline na nare-recruit mo, may porsyento kang kikitain. Yun ang mas madali na paraan para kumita ka para sa hanap buhay natin na ito. So, ibig sabihin, ikaw bilang upline, kinakailangan mo mag-recruit ng maraming downline. Nakita mo nga, oo nga naman, mahirap nga naman magbenta ng multivitamins. Oo nga naman, mahirap nga naman magbenta ng fruit juices sa mga pagkain, ng comforter. So might as well, you'd go into recruiting people to be able to earn money fast. That way, you'd be able to get your investment very quick. Now, that's a red flag. Red flag na po, automatic yan. If someone comes on to you, and asks you to recruit people or enter into a business transaction under that kind of mechanism, wherein prioritization is given to recruiting people to let go, to invest of their hard-earned money rather than selling goods, mind you, That's a red flag for a pyramid scam. But then again, I'll have to put in a caveat. Bibigyan ko po kayo ng qualification. Paano naman yung tinatawag na mga multi-level marketings? Ano ang example ng mga multi-level marketings? Herbalife, for example. Herbalife, ano ba itong sikat? Avon. So, ang pinagkaiba ng multi-level marketing sa pyramid scam na nagtatago sa ilalim ng pangre-recruit at pagbibigay ng mga produkto ay ganito. Sa multi-level marketing, well, of course, they do not base their business upon recruitment of people. They actually encourage people to sell. That's one. The second is, the actual commercial value of the goods being sold in multi-level marketing are actually real and authentic. There is an actual, real commercial value of the goods that they sell. The milk drink that Herbalife sells actually has commercial value. The multivitamins that Herbalife sells actually has commercial value. So people under Herbalife would sell this particular goods and they would have no problem selling with it because there is an actual commercial value of the goods that they're selling. Meaning, ginagamit talaga ng tao. May commercial value sapagkat ginagamit talaga ng tao. Ganon din sa Avon. Ganon din sa iba pang klase ng mga multi-level marketing. Actual na ginagamit ng tao yung produktong kanilang binibenta. At pag nabili, saka kumikita, saka nagkakaroon ng return of investment yung investor. Yung kinikita nila, the money that they earn from recruiting other people to join Herbalife, to join Avon is minimal compared to the amount of money that they're able to gain, that they're able to earn from recruiting. So, recruiting gives them money, but it's minimal compared to actual selling. So, people who engage in multi-level marketing are actually good sellers. So, not everybody can go into multi-level marketing. Now, what's the difference with pyramid scams? Remember, pyramid scams, most of them actually induce people to recruit, similar to multi-level marketing. And similar to multi-level marketing, they also provide commercial goods. But, the but is here. The commercial goods that they give have minimal to no actual commercial value. Let me allow that to sink in to your head. Again, I repeat, the commercial goods that they give you in exchange for the amount of money you invest have minimal to no actual commercial value. Ibig sabihin, yung perang ibinigay mo ay di hamak na napakalaki kumpara doon sa actual. Kung meron man actual value yung commercial goods na binigay sa iyo. Just imagine. Yung investment mong 10,000, 15,000, bibigyan ka ng ilang kahon ng multivitamins na pwede mo namang mabili sa generic pharmacy o di kaya sa ilang mga sikat na mga parmasya dyan na hindi aabot ng 10,000. Kung titignan mo, kung pumunta ka dyan sa mga sikat na mga parmasya o di kaya sa mga generic pharmacy, most likely you'll be able to get the same amount of goods, half the price or even half the price. So what makes up for the difference? Bakit ang mahal lang chinarge sa'yo? Well, they tell you, mas mahal yan primarily because, your membership fee, you're on so on and so forth. They'll give you a whole lot of bullshit to be able to justify why the commercial goods that they gave you have convoluted, have an inflated amount than their actual commercial value. So halatang panggugoyo. Ang pisong halaga ng vitamin C na mamibili mo sa parmasya sa halagang piso, para sa kanila 7 pesos. Abay, bakit ganon? Ganon kamahal, di ba? So meaning to say, in a pyramid scam, ulitin ko, the actual value of commercial goods that you receive in exchange for your investment is not commensurate, is not equal, is not parallel to the amount of money that you gave in exchange for that commercial goods. Masyadong mahal, di umano. Therefore, if you're going to sell this commercial goods, this vitamin C, this comforter, this pillow, this juice drink, no one would buy it from you. Why would I buy a vitamin C capsule from you that costs 7 pesos when I can buy it from Mercury for 1 peso? Right? So there is no feasibility of you being able to sell it because people will see offhand that it's quite expensive. So then, your recruiter will tell you, might as well, gamitin mo na lang. You just use this particular commercial goods for yourself, then earn your money back and gain return of investment with your money by recruiting other people to join this particular investment company. So, that's the red flag. So, let's take a look at the bullet points there, right? So, in a pyramid scam, there is focus primarily on the exchange of money for recruitment, as I was saying. And the selling point is each participant can recoup or kikitain pabalik yung kanyang original investment at kikita ng higit pa by recruiting more people, recruiting more participants downline. At tinatago, they hide the scam by layering or associating the schemes with products or privileges. Even if sorry, naputol yung bulletin na yan. Even if these products are given to you, sabi ko nga kanina, they have minimal to no actual commercial value. So, kahit may mga produkto pa, yung iba pa nga dyan, yung privilege yung binibigay sa'yo, for 15,000 pesos, you're supposedly going to get a discount coupon for an overnight stay or a 2 nights, 3-day stay in one luxurious hotel or luxurious beach resort somewhere in the Visayas or somewhere in Mindanao. May mga ganong mga schemes pa na ganyan. But may mga kadikit yon sapagkat maaring libre di umano yung iyong pagstay doon sa mga hotel na yon, pero may mga hidden charges na mga tinatawag. So mag-ingat sa mga ganito. So these are some other red flags. So victims, yung mga biktima, iniingganyong bumili ng malakihan, bultuhan, large and expensive inventory of goods, and they don't provide refund if you don't manage to sell your goods. Just imagine that. Over and above your investment of 10 or 15,000 pesos, they'll ask you to buy an inventory worth 50, 75,000 pesos. Supposedly, they tell you, well, the 50,000 pesos that you put in as an investment to buy this inventory of goods will allow you to earn an additional 25,000. So that's 50% return of investment. Napakataas ng return of investment, 50% kasi 75,000, di ba? 50,000 ng investment mo, pag nabenta mo lahat ang inventaryo mo, kikita ka ng karagdagang 25,000. So yung 50,000 mo naging 75,000. Diba? Pero, hindi ka nila bibigyan ng garantiya na pag hindi mo nabenta ay pwede mong ibalik. Walang concession dito. This is not a concession basis. This is a cash basis type of commercial activity. Bayad upfront. E paano nga kung hindi ikaw ang tipo ng tao magaling magbenta? So, hindi mo nabenta lahat. So, anong gagawin mo? So, pag hindi mo nabenta, sasabihin ng recruiter mo, sasabihin ng upline mo, well, kung hindi mo mabenta, gamitin mo na lang. Kawawa ka naman. Just imagine yourself, no? Inuubos mo yung milkshake mo, yung 75,000 pesos worth of milkshake, kinakailangan maubos mo yan within 1 month. Bakit? Kinakailangan mo nang bumili ng panibago para makapang-recruit ka na naman and so on and so forth. So, worthless. Okay. Next red flag, the perpetrators conduct opportunity meetings. Usually, they do this in coffee shops. No, they do this in restaurants. Marami kayo nandun. Tapos napapalibutan kayo na napakaraming mga upline, napapalibutan kayo na napakaraming recruiters ninyo, napapalibutan kayo na napakaraming marketers. They're really good. Pwedeng face-to-face yan or pwedeng maramihan. Pwedeng face-to-face, one is to one, or pwedeng en masse. Marami kayo with a high-pressure atmosphere emphasizing, idinidikdik sa mga isipan ninyo, sa mga isipan natin, na malaki ang kikitain ninyo. At hindi lamang yon, magyayabang ang mga yan ng napakaraming mga successful members di umano nila. May haharap bigla. Ako po ay dating nagtatrabaho sa isang department store, kumikita lamang po ako ng minimum. Nababawasan pa nga po yung minimum kong kinikita sapagkat maraming mga kaltas. Pero nung nakilala ko po ang Acme Investment Corporation, tingnan na po ninyo kung gaano kaalwan ang buhay ko ngayon. Look at my lifestyle now. I'm able to afford trips to Boracay, trips to Hong Kong. I was able to buy 2 vehicles. I was able to buy an SUV. I was able to buy a sedan. And I now live in a very beautiful condominium unit somewhere in Makati, somewhere in Ortigas, or somewhere in BGC. For all intents and purposes, it may be true. It may be true. But there is no harm in you examining, investigating whether all of these individuals that they're parading in front of you have actually earned that much money. Because it has been proven that many of the posts that they put up on social media are actually no more than fabricated posts, no? So may mga iba magpo-post sa social media, be it on Facebook, Twitter. Ito po ang kinita ko sa ganitong Acme investment scheme. So maglalabas sila ng maraming pera, halimbawa nagpapaypay ng pera, nakahiga sa pera. But for all intents and purposes, those are all orchestrated, those are all fabricated, no? Ang tunay na kumita ng ganyang kalaking pera, kung totoo man yan o hindi, ang ipapakita niya ay hindi yung ganong klase. Ipakita niya sa akin yung kanyang binayaran sa BIR. Pakita niya sa akin yung kanyang binayaran ng mga business permit. Ipakita niya sa akin kung magkano talagang tax declaration niya. Di ba? Kasi kung kahit pasabihin natin babawasan niya ng malaking porsyento yung kanyang i-declare at hindi lahat i-declare niya, malaki pa rin ang may i-declare niya kasi nagpapakita siya ng bahay sa ganitong condominium unit, ganitong klaseng kotse, ganitong karaming pera, and so on and so forth. Makikita at makikita yun eh. Huwag mong ipakita sa akin yung unit na yan sapagkat for all intents and purposes hindi nakapangalan sa iyo. Or better yet, ipakita mo sa akin ang titulo ng kung sasabihin mo sa akin na binili mo yung kotse ng cash, ipakita mo na nakapangalan sa iyo ang kotse. Right? Huwag mong ipakita sa akin yung kotse kasi madaling pumunta sa parking lot sa isang malaking subdivision at sabihin sa iyo ang kotse na yon. Remember? Remember that particular mayaman challenge ba yon na nakakulong ngayon, di ba? That's the type of individuals that you have doing this particular investment schemes. Right? Hindi puro yabang. Kinakailangan ipakita mo yung titulo na sa'yo talaga pagmamayari na yon. Okay. Now, during this particular face-to-face or mass gathering, it's there is high pressure atmosphere primarily because, well, usually hindi kanila pakakawalan unless that you committed an amount of money to this particular scheme right there and then. Ikaw naman, nandun ka na, may mob, the atmosphere of the mob is there, you get hyped up, no? So kinokondisyon ang utak mo, kinokondisyon yung isip mo. So most likely for all intents and purposes magpapakawala ka na ng pera. Maglalabas ka na ng pera right there and then. The pressure is really intense. They're really good with recruitment. They're really good with convincing people to let go of their money, of their hard-earned money. Now, another red flag, as I've said earlier on, is the participants are rewarded for inducing other people to join the program. Yung magiging downline mo. And they will tell you that you will earn huge profits, malakihang pera, at continued growth. Patuloy kang kumikita kapag paparami ng paparami ang downline na nare-recruit mo. So, just think of it, my dear friends. If you're going to get into this type of business, who do you think you would recruit offhand? Who do you think you would recruit, first of all? Most likely, you'd recruit your family members, your brother, no, your mother, your cousins. Or maybe you'd recruit your friends, your college friends, your colleagues. Alangan naman ang i-recruit mo ay taong hindi mo kakilala. You won't go to the middle of Ayala Avenue in Makati and then accost or hold someone right there and then and tell him, a total stranger in the middle of the street, and then tell him, hi, could you, I've got an investment opportunity for you. Would you have time to listen to me? Hindi naman pwedeng ganon. Hindi naman ganon tayong klase mga tao. Ang una nating i-recruit would be our mga kakilala. So not only have we become victims, but we also become party to victimizing our own friends, our own family members. So just think of it like that. Just think of it. Isipin nyo na lang yun. No? I keep on telling people in every lecture that I go to on this particular topic, if it's too good to be true, then it must not be true. That's the bottom line. Ako, meron akong maliliit na mga negosyo. Kapag kumita na ng 20%, pasalamat na ako noon. Napakalaki na ng 20% nakita sa investment ko. At yung 20% na yun, hindi pa yun kita sa loob ng isang taon. Kita sa loob ng 2 taon. 20%. Karamihan, ang kita ko, siguro mga nasa 5 to 8%. 10% malaki na. Kasi syempre, mataas ang overhead mo. May mga pinapasahod ka, may opisina kang mini-maintain, may mga gastos ka sa kuryente, and so on and so forth. Operational expenses, right? So pag kumita na ako ng 20%, pasalamat ako noon. Pero yung 20% ko sa loob ng 2 taon na yon. If someone comes up to you and tells you that your investment will allow you to earn X amount of money, X amount of return of investment in X amount of short period of time, then it must not be true. Just look at it this way. You invest 10,000 pesos in a bank. How long will your 10,000 pesos earn 20% in the bank? Years. Most likely 5 years or even 7 years, depending on which bank you're in. With a 3.5% interest rate per annum, so your 20%, 3.5 times how many years before it earns 20% of your initial deposit? And for those of you who are businesses with sari-sari stores or with whatever businesses that you have, 20% is not that easy to earn as a return of investment. 20% is always good as a return of investment. So, if someone says you'll earn 50 to 100% in less than a year, in a few months, by investing your money and recruiting people, then I tell you, that is too good to be true. That is the ultimate, the highest form of red flag. Again, if it's too good to be true, then it must not be true. Okay. Now, this red flag, I've said it already a few minutes ago. The marketing of a product or privilege, if done at all, kung meron man o wala. Kasi yung iba, wala naman talagang ibinibigay ng mga produkto, walang ibinibigay ng mga discount cards or mga access sa mga ganitong beach resorts or whatever. Secondary lang talaga. Ginagawa lamang nila yon para mapagtakpan, para di umano matawag silang multi-level marketing. Because I tell you huwag tayo magkakamali. Multi-level marketings are legal. That's allowed. Sapagkat sabi ko nga po, in a multi-level marketing, the actual product or privilege that is being given to you have an actual commercial value. Talagang may commercial value. And people use it. People look for it. Para mapagtakpan ng mga pyramid scam manipulators yung kanilang panggugoyo, sasabihin nila na, well, meron din kaming produktong ibinibigay, meron kaming ibinibigay ng mga coupons kapalit ng inyong mga investment na ito. But again, I tell you, secondary sa kanila yon. Gagawin nila yon, pero hindi nila ipra-prioritize yon. Lagi silang merong caveat na tinatawag. Meron silang mga kadugtong, mga pasubali. Ika nga, ang pasubali nila, okay, here is the 10,000 pesos worth of commercial goods, but I tell you, pasubali. Pero sabihan lang kita, kaibigan mahirap talagang kumita sa pagbebenta. Pag may ganun na, delikado na antemano. Red flag na po ang tawag doon. So if someone comes up to you and tells that to your face, mag-isip-isip ka na. Right? These are just some of the examples that of pyramid schemes in the last few years. The Securities and Exchange Commission were able to examine, were able to apprehend and prosecute. No? So, if you have time, you can take a look at them over Google and see what these particular pyramid scams were. Now, what can you do? Now, that's the most important thing. Anong dapat mong gawin? Una, do not merely rely on the favorable testimonies of ordinary people, even of your own friends and family. Sabi ko nga po in the previous slide, these scam artists, they prey upon your relationships. Because, well, we are Filipinos, and as Filipinos, we are a very clannish, we're a very family-oriented, we're a kinship-oriented people. So, before I go to a total stranger to be able to recruit them into my own particular investment opportunity na tinatawag, I'd have to go to my family first. I'd have to go to my friends first. So, do not rely merely on the testimonies of these people. It helps na maging tamang hinala in this particular. When it comes to money, I tell you, when it comes to money, it's good to be tamang hinala. It's okay to be tamang hinala. So, in fact, it's better if you don't mix money with your family and friendly and relationship with friends. Kung maiwasan lang naman. Kung pwede, kung maiwasan lang naman. So, even if your friend or even your brother or your sibling came up to you and says, meron akong ganitong investment opportunity para sa iyo, wag kang maniwala agad sa kanya. No? Take it with a grain of salt. Investigate. How do you do that? Call the Securities and Exchange Commission to inquire whether the entity providing the investment opportunity possesses a secondary license to do so. Kung sole proprietor po yan, tingnan mo kung rehistrado sa DTI at meron ding secondary license. Okay, paliwanag po natin ito. Kapag corporation ka, pupunta ka sa SEC Magsasubmit ka ng Articles of Incorporation, magsasubmit ka ng bylaws. Ipapakita mo doon kung sino yung mga incorporators mo, magkano yung investment mo. At kapag naibigay mo naman lahat ng mga requirements na hinihingi ng SEC, bibigyan kanila ng Articles of Incorporation. Ngayon, ang Articles of Incorporation ay isang patunay lamang na yung iyong negosyo ay rehistrado bilang korporasyon sa SEC. Ngayon naman, kapag sole proprietor yan, isang tao lamang ang may-ari, sa Department of Trade and Industry mo po gagawin yan. Kapag meron ka ng business registration name permit sa DTI at meron ka namang Article of Incorporation galing sa SEC, ang pinatutunayan lamang po niyan ay ang iyong negosyo ay rehistrado na sa gobyerno. Pero kapag ang iyong negosyo ay nag-i-involve ng investment, pera, investment, pagbibenta ng insurance, pagbibenta ng kung ano man may kinalaman ng pera, kinakailangan mo ng secondary license. Bakit? Titingnan ng SEC at titingnan ng DTI kung yung inyong korporasyon ay may sapat na capitalization para suportahan yung investment business opportunity na iyong ibinibenta. So, a secondary license is based on the ability of the primary license holder to be able to bankroll, to be able to support in terms of capitalization, the amount of investment that its potential investors would put into the business. So, ibig sabihin, mga kaibigan, kapag merong lumapit sa inyo at nag-provide ng ganitong klaseng investment opportunities, hindi sapat na hihingin lamang ninyo o ibibigay lamang nila ang primary license, Article of Incorporation o di kaya Business Name Registration. Humingi kayo ng secondary license. Secondary license is a document that authorizes them to sell the investment or investment opportunity, the investment premium, or the other types of money-based investment premium. Secondary license yun. It's basically a secondary license to sell. So automatic po yun. Take note of that, my dear friends, my dear participants. Ask for those two type of license. Primary license, the Article of Incorporation under SEC, or the business registration under the DTI. Pangalawa, yung secondary license para magbenta. Okay. Next. Tumawag din po kayo doon sa asosasyon ng mga direct sellers. They call it DSAP, Direct Selling Association of the Philippines, to check if the entity selling is actually engaged, the entity selling is actually a bona fide member or not. Tingnan ninyo kung kaanib ng kanilang organisasyon o hindi. Kasi kapag may secondary license ka to sell investment schemes or investment opportunities, insurance, and so on and so forth, most of them, if all of them, are members of the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines. Basically, DSAP regulates its own membership. Diba? If the person selling you that particular investment opportunity is not a member, red flag, mag-isip-isip, double check automatically, go to SEC, go to DTI. If not, check over Google, baka mamaya meron ng mga kaso ito o wala. Now, finally, you have to exercise caution. Huwag niyong pakakawalan ng pera niyo ng ganon-ganon lang. Do not part with your money unless you have verified the legitimacy of the entity's operations by going to SEC, DTI, and DSAP, and checking that this particular investment company has no standing warrants of arrest, cease and desist order, no standing cases before the courts, or that they have no cases in terms of large-scale stuff and the like. Check, check, check. Madali namang mag-check ngayon. Okay? Note, nota bene, tandaang maigi. Gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, the government cannot guarantee the recovery of your money. Kapag napakawalan na ninyo yung pera, goodbye na ang pera ninyo. Hindi na ninyo makukuha yan ng ganun kadali. Kung makuha man ninyo, malamang kakarampot lamang ang inyong makukuha. Baka mas malaki pang ginastos ninyo para sa paghahabol, sa paghahabla, kesa doon sa initial ninyong naging investment. So, before you part with your money, exercise caution and do a lot of background investigations first. So, let us begin this part of the session, this part of the series of lectures, by recapitulating what pyramid schemes are again. First, gaya na sinabi natin, pinagdidiinan natin, there is no legitimate product or service involved here. There is nothing that you get in exchange for your initial investment. So, whatever they would give you in terms of a product would be illegitimate in light of the fact that they have no actual commercial value. As I stated earlier on in the previous session, if you invest 10 to 50, say 10 or 15,000 pesos to become a member of the investment group, they would give you a product that is not commensurate to the investment that you are giving. Say they'll give you fruit juices, milkshakes, or whatever. They would give you comforters, throw pillows, blankets, whose actual commercial value is not commensurate, hindi katapat nung perang ibinigay ninyo bilang investment. So matotal, kung titingnan po ninyo, talaga pong lugi kayo rito sapagkat ang kaperang inyong ibinigay, ang kapalit na nakukuha ninyo ay hindi sapat para ma-recoup ninyo yung investment sa pamamagitan ng pagbebenta lamang noon. Maraming kadahilanan ang kanilang ibinibigay gaya ng nasabi ko nung una. Una, sasabihin nila, kaya ganon kalaki ang value na ipinapataw nila doon sa commercial goods na di mo na ibibigay nila sa inyo sapagkat, well, ang iba sasabihin nila imported po kasi yan. Ang iba sasabihin nila merong special feature yung commercial good na yan. Pero all of these are just smoke screen. All of these are just mere justifications to be able to justify the fact that they're giving you a product that is not commercially commensurate to the amount that you gave them in terms of an initial investment. So, which brings us to the second point of what the second feature of a pyramid scheme, namely that in as much as you don't get enough commercial value, you don't get enough return of investment from selling the product that they gave you, they would insist that you start recruiting people for your downline. So yung downline ninyo will be the one that would create the next base of the pyramid, right? So pababa ng pababa yung pyramid in as much as palapad ng palapad sa pababa ng pababa sapagkat you need to keep on recruiting your downline. Meaning to say, the earnings that you get from this particular illicit investment scheme is generated from the recruitment of other people who have been victimized after you. So if you take a look at this, so dito may konting caveat tayong, may pasubali tayong ibibigay rito, paalala. Pag nakita na ninyo na ang karakter ng inyong pinasukang investment scheme ay isang pyramid scam, isang pyramid scheme, harinawa, hindi na ninyo gagawin pang mag-recruit ng inyong mga kaibigan, mga kakilala, para tulad ninyo sila din naman ay mabiktima. Sapagkat, well, legally speaking, you are in a gray area, not only in a legally gray area, not only will you find yourself in a legally gray area, but more than that, you'll be ruining years of friendship, kinship relationships, sapagkat sa inyong kagustuhang kumita ulit. So, Paalala, kapag inyong na-identify na ang inyong pinasok ay isang pyramid scam, huwag nang magbiktima pa ng ibang tao. May kita't may kita ninyo yan sapagkat mararamdaman ninyo yan sapagkat ini-insist ng inyong upline ng mga nauna sa inyo na mang-recruit kayo ng downline. Siyempre, isipin ninyo, abay bakit nga ba pinipilit nitong taong ito na siya nag-recruit sa akin na ako'y mag-recruit din ng iba? Bakit hindi na lang niyang i-insist sa akin na magbenta ako ng produkto? Iyo ba? So, these are the two identifying features, so to speak, of a pyramid scam as an illicit investment scheme. Una, there is no legitimate product or service involved. Legitimate product that has actual commercial value commensurate to your initial investment. And second, for you to be able to get a financial return, a return of investment for the money that you put into the business as an investment, you would be asked to recruit people as your downline. They will discourage you from selling the products that you give as an exchange of your initial investment. That has to be clear. Yun po ang maikling pagpapaliwanag kung ano ang tinatawag na pyramid schemes, yung mga pyramid scams na yan. Sumunod naman, tingnan po naman natin kasunod yung isa pang klase ng illicit investment scheme na kung tawagin natin ay isang Ponzi scheme. Gaya ng aking pagpapaliwanag doon sa previous session, a Ponzi scheme is essentially an investment fraud where the operator promises high financial returns or dividends. Like mga tipong ang mga hirit nila, kaibigan, pag nag-invest ka rito sa akin ng kalahating milyon, 500,000 or 100,000. Yung 100,000 mo kikita ng 10% interest kada 2 linggo. Iba pa, sasabihin kikita ka ng 100% interest in a matter of a month. Oh my. No self-respecting businessman, so no self-respecting investor, stockbroker would promise you such a gargantuan return. Ganyang katinding pagbalik ng inyong pera. No such thing. Right? So, because the operator invests the funds, two investors are involved here. So, basically, the investor who came in later, yung perang kanyang ininvest, ang gagamitin para di umano bayaran yung dividendo nung nauna sa kanyang investor. Right? Gaya na sabi sa operator ay sa bullet point, the operator invests the victim's funds and pays dividends to initial investors using the principal amounts invested by subsequent investors. Just as simple as that. Malas ang pinakahuli, ang mga huling na napasok. Swerte yung mga naunang napasok, but eventually the entire scheme blows up. You'd ask me, tatanungin niyo ako, bakit eventually magbo-blow up ang ganyang klaseng scheme? Well, primarily because the Ponzi scheme manipulator he will lose people to recruit. Mawawalan siya ng tao na kanyang i-recruit. Maubusan na siya ng kaibigan i-recruit kasi halos lahat na ipasok niya na. Di ba? So, at some point, this particular high returns of dividends will blow up on the face of the Ponzi scheme manipulator. It's as simple as that. So, the extremely high returns that is being promised by the Ponzi scheme manipulator should already serve as a red flag to you if you are being encouraged to invest in a scheme such as this. Just take a look at, if you're a businessman, if you have a bank account in any bank in the country, here in the Philippines, just look at how much the bank would give you as an interest per month or per annum. Just look at how much of an interest you get from a time deposit. No? Anywhere between 3% to 4 or 5% even. Now, if you invested in a business with actual capital expenditure, with actual operational expenditure, 20% is already high enough for a 2-year period even. In some instances, business and investors are not able to get their money back within a period of 1 year, 2 years. Sometimes it takes 5 years or more before they're able to get a return of their investment. It's a long-term investment, so to speak. So here comes someone promising to give you a return that is as low as 6% to a high of 29% per month. So obviously, that has to be a red flag. Next point, next feature. Initial investors are paid exceptional returns from the deposits of a growing number of new investors. This is just as I've said earlier on. Maswerte dito ang unang nakapasok sapagkat sila din ang unang kikita ng malaki. Sapagkat as people come in, as new investors come in, so the money that is taken from these new investors will be given to the initial investors. Another feature of a Ponzi scheme is that the profits, so to speak, that are being paid to the investors are not created by successful business investments, but rather simply through the capital contribution of others who comes later on. Diba? Kung ang isang stockbroker kasi, ang isang magaling na investor na stockbroker, ang gagawin niya, kapag nakakuha siya ng investment mula sa isang individual na gustong magpasok ng kanilang pera sa isang investment portfolio, ang gagawin niya dun sa pera, i-invest niya yon doon sa mga stocks, sa mga negosyo na sa palagay niya ay mayroong magandang return of investment over a certain period of time. Meron siyang actual na pinaglalagakan ng pera ng mga negosyo. Kapag maganda ang takbo ng mga negosyong yun, malaki ang tutubuin ng perang ininvest niya para doon sa kanyang mga kliyente. That's what a stockbroker does. No? Yung iba naman na hindi na kumukuha ng stockbroker, sila na mismo nag-i-invest, pupunta sila sa Philippine Stock Exchange, di ba? Hindi kaya pupunta sila sa bangko, sa kanilang mga bangko, hingi ng tulong sa kanilang mga bank managers para sila na mag-invest ng pera doon sa mga negosyong sa palagay nila ay magbibigay ng magandang return of investment. So to speak, there is an actual investment that is happening if it's a legitimate investment scheme. But in an illicit, illegal na scheme tulad ng isang Ponzi scheme, there is no profit that is actually generated, kundi yung profit na pinalalabas ng iyong Ponzi scheme manipulator ay isang klase ng ay galing sa panloloko niya dun sa mga bagong taong nag-invest. It's as simple as that. It's not profit per se, but rather it is a product of people getting victimized after you. Now, let me allow that to sink in. Yung perang makukuha ninyo na akala ninyo ay tubo ng inyong investment ay hindi actually tubo, kundi produkto ng panluloko ng taong ng biktima sa inyo, produkto ng panluloko niya sa ilang mga tao pagkatapos ninyo. It's not profit, but a product of a very complicated manipulation on the part of the Ponzi scheme manipulator. So, ngayon, how would you distinguish between a Ponzi scheme and a legitimate investment? Again, there are some foolproof, mga napatunayan ng mga sistema na nag-work. One, again, go to the Securities and Exchange Commission if the promoter, if the investment if the person seeking your investment actually possess a secondary license to sell that particular specific security if he is offering or selling. Just as I've stated earlier on during our previous discussion on pyramids scams, hindi sapat na ang isang negosyo ay mayroong primary license like an article of incorporation or a registered business name. Hindi po sapat yon. Kapag ang taong nagnenegosyo o yung taong iintay sa inyo mag-invest ay humihingi ng pera kapalit ng inyong ng produktong inyong makukuha, pera kapalit ng investment na inyong makukuha, kinakailangan meron siyang secondary license. Maliwanag po yun. Diba? So, gaya nga nakalagay po dyan, no person or corporation, even if duly registered with the SEC through a primary license, can offer or sell securities without a secondary license. Maliwanag po yun. So, bilang isang potential investor, pag may lalapit, dalawang bagay ang hihingin ninyo. Primary and secondary license. Okay? Ngayon, maliwanag din. Pag nakita, halimbawa, meron na nga nag-iintay sa inyo, nagre-recruit para mag-invest. May binibenta siyang securities sa inyo, stocks or whatsoever. Maliwanag na kalahad na nakastipulate doon sa secondary license kung ano lamang ang pwede niyang ibenta. Halimbawa, ang nakalagay sa kanyang lisensya, secondary license to sell insurance policy, life insurance policies, dapat maliwanag po yun. Pag sinabing life insurance policy yan po. Hindi pwedeng non-life insurance policy. Diba? Pag sinabing license to sell insurance, ibig sabihin, hindi siya pwede magbenta labas doon sa kung anong klaseng insurance ang pwede niyang ibenta. That has to be clear. Next is, the underlying business operation is properly explained, legitimate, and viable. Kaya nga po, yung secondary license at saka primary license ay kinakailangan maliwanag na nakalagay doon. Kung yung capital ba, yung capitalization na nakalagay po doon sa primary license ay sapat para ma-recoup or sapat para masuportahan yung ibinibenta nilang mga securities, mga security products, mga investment products na tinatawag. Para kung sakaling nagkaroon man ng problema, mayroong sapat na garantiya. Yung namumuhunan, yung bumili ng insurance product, ng stock options, yung bumili ng stock sa kumpanyang yan, na yung kanilang pera ay kahit paano mayroong garantiyang mababalik sa kanila na may babalik sa kanila. So, that is only possible if the business is, well, legitimate and viable. Meron silang mga real estate properties, merong mga opisinang pupuntahan, meron silang mga tinatawag na mga properties na tinatawag. Di ba? Now, next, the return on investment has to be reasonable and not unrealistic. Again, if it's too good to be true, then it must not be true. If the person selling the securities product to you is promising a return that is too exponentially impossible, napakataas, then it must not be true. It must not be real. It must simply be a figment of an imagination. So don't get fooled by too sweet talks, by sweet promises, so to speak. Next, the endorsement or association with a reputable person or entities is not always a guarantee of legitimacy. Good example, si Bernie Madoff. He was a respected icon in Wall Street in New York, right? He was a former, if I'm not mistaken, he was former president of the New York Stock Exchange. He was a financial regulator. So, kumbaga yung credentials ni Bernie Madoff, my goodness, nandun. It's up there. Napakataas. Kinikilala, tinitingala. But at the end of the day, he was no more than a fraud. Isa pala siyang malaking kabilantunaan. Yung PIPC naman, Performance Investment Products Corporation, ang tinarget nun, mga elite, mga celebrities, at saka mga politicians. At the end of the day, performance investment at the end of the day, kapag titingnan mo lamang mga politicians na kaanib na nag-i-invest doon, kapag yun lamang ang barometer mo, yun lamang ang panuntunan mo para mag-invest doon, malay mo sila din na loko din tulad mo. Di ba? Just like an investment scheme that erupted somewhere in Mindanao a few years back, na yung isang naging biktima ng isang Filipino-Malaysian happened to be a city mayor ng isang syudad sa Mindanao. Eventually, nakulong din ng mayor na yon sapagkat napatunayan na dahil sa kanya, maraming nabiktima. Maaari na siya ay naging biktima din ng Filipino-Malaysian na yun na nagtatago ngayon sa Malaysia, but then again, at the end of the day, maraming pumasok doon sa investment scheme na yun sapagkat si Mayor kaanib. Di ba? Just like many other investment schemes ng nabibiktima mga kapulisan, mga bombero, mga sundalo, mga teachers kasi nakikita, yung aking division supervisor, yung aking chief of police, yung aking yung kapitan, yung police captain namin, yung PCP commander namin, miyembro na, nag-invest na. Siguro may kinikita nga rito. So, be very, very careful of what you're doing. If I do recall it right, yung Performance Investment Products Corporation, that was actually a foreign exchange trading firm. So, palitan ng foreign exchange. This happened sometime in July 2007. Ang nangyari po dito, ang mga investors ay nawalan ng humigit kumulang anywhere between $140 million to $250 million of investor funds. Napakalaki po noon. No? So, if I am not mistaken, Singaporean ang may-ari po noon ng company na yan, at yung pangalan niya, let me recall, ang pangalan niya, ang kanyang pangalan ay si Michael Liu, L-I-E-W. Si Mr. Liu ay nag-set up ng kanyang operation sa Philippines sometime in 1998. Eventually, 1998 bilang isang online foreign exchange trading firm, trading service, pero he was not associated initially prior to the eruption of that particular scandal, prior to the discovery of the PIPC scandal in 2007, from 98 until 2006, no irregularity was associated with Mr. Liu. So people were earning quite an amount of money from him. In fact, he was a known philanthropist during that time. He helped renovate the Obigaini wing of the Philippine General Hospital. Siya pa ang nag-ribbon cutting nung pinasinayaan yung hospital na yon. So, well, basically, he was sort of respectable. So, maraming nabiktimang mga negosyante, mga socialites, mga artista nung kanyang investment scheme na tinatawag. So eventually he disappeared. He simply disappeared. So this was 2007. So the last time that he disappeared around June of 2007. So the last time that anyone heard about him was July of 2007. So no one was able to get back the money that was invested into PIPC. So that has to serve as a sort of a warning, no? Not because someone is legitimate, appears to be legitimate, that he must be legitimate. You'd have to take a look at all of his background, so to speak. Lalo't malaking perang pinag-uusapan natin dito. So, let Bernie Madoff and Mr. Liu's illegal activities here in the Philippines under PIPC serve as a viable warning, serve as a clear warning to all of us that before we part ways with our money, invest in something, check. There's no harm in taking extra time to check if the company or the person has primary or secondary license to offer what they're offering in terms of securities. Now, what about a boiler room? Ito yung mga cold calls na tinatawag, no? Yung hindi mo kakilala, biglang tatawag sa iyo, mag-offer ng something. So, basically, telemarketing operation ito. Yun nga lang, illegal na telemarketing operation ito. So, these are some of the features. One, boiler room companies are entities that offer promise to people to make more money by exposing them to the international markets. So, all of a sudden, someone calls you. Here you are, you know nothing about investment here you are, someone who knows nothing about investing money in a foreign company based in Germany, but someone calls you and says, "Sir, for 5,000 pesos, no, that's too low. So for $5,000, let's say, you'll be able to buy shares of stocks in a company in Germany that produces this particular product, and that the return of the investment is such and such." No? Now, another red flag of this particular type of illicit investment scheme is that in the articles of incorporation of the many of the businesses that are actually boiler rooms, naka-indicate doon management consultancy. So, well, basically they're consultant because they help you manage, so to speak, your money, di umano. No? So, they use high pressure sales tactics to sell illegitimate investment products such as yon, gaya ng pyramid, gaya ng Ponzi scheme, unreasonable rates of returns and promises of profits. No? They give you guaranteed returns without any sound basis. So they tell you your money will earn 8%, 10% in 1 week, 20% in a month, 30% in a month. But if you ask for details, they won't be able to give you details. Remember the saying, the devil is in the details. Nasa detalye, no? So kung wala silang ma-provide na details, or if the details that they provide happens to be exorbitant, happens to be unrealistic, then it has got to be it has got to be an illicit investment scheme. No? Minsan gagamitan pa kayo ng mga katagang, "Hey, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and you will be crazy, you will be stupid to miss out on it." So talagang pinipilit kayo. Oh, minsan lang ito mangyari sa tanang buhay mo, pre. Minsan lang ito mangyari sa tanang buhay mo, ma'am. So, if I were you, I'd take the opportunity I'd grab this opportunity to earn this much return of investment. Again, return of investment of what? Return of investment by investing your money in a stock, in a company based abroad that you know minimally nothing of. No? Halos wala kayong kaalam-alam. Okay. Iba pang gagamitin nila sa inyo, think of your family and their future. Di ba? Well-known rich people are doing this and don't you want to be rich? Mga dagdag panloloko. Di ba? This information is secret I'm only telling this to you. Yun yung mga tipong medyo malaking kabalintunaan, no? So, sikreto ito, sa'yo ko lamang sasabihin. Kaya nga tinawag na sikreto, wala nakakaalam eh. Teka, sandali. So, pag ganun nang sinabi sa'yo, alam mo nang nagkakagaguhan na tayo rito, ginugoyo na kayo. Okay? So, just like I mentioned a few in the first session, yung boiler room is one good example of this particular type of illicit investment scam operations. Pati din yung Wall Street, pinagbidahan po iyon ni Leonardo DiCaprio. Yun naman ay based sa real life ni Jordan Belfort, stockbroker who defrauded his clients, 1,510 clients of over $200 million in his various stock scams. Wow. So, what do they do? Well, they actually rent an office. They actually do rent an office. May mga mesa, may mga telepono, at mga magagaling na salespeople na walang gagawin kundi tumawag ng tumawag sa napakaraming tao all across the country every day. Okay, may magtatanong. Anong pinagkaiba noon kapag bilang tumawag sa iyo si Globe or si Smart Telecom, so di kaya si Sun na nag-offer ng bagong product nila halimbawa? Na malaking pinagkaiba sapagkat si Globe at saka si Sun, si Smart pag tumawag sa iyo, it's probably because you already have a good business relationship with them. Matagal ka ng subscriber ni Globe, kaya ka tinatawagan sapagkat nakita ni Globe na nakakapagbayad ka ng maayos sa iyong mga subscription, sa iyong linya bilang isang postpaid subscriber. Di ba? So, ibig sabihin, yung tumatawag sa inyo, may proven track record na, legitimate yun. Pero ito, out of nowhere, cold calls, hindi mo kakilala, in-offer ka ng investment, all of a sudden, hindi mo alam kung saan ba nanggaling yung investment, yung investment opportunity na yon. So, and they would pressure you right there and then. In a matter of minutes, they'd ask you to decide. To give them access to your money, or if not, to ask you to transfer money to them. Ngayon na napakabilis ng mga money remittance system or even mga online paying systems like GCash and Paymaya, may tumawag sa inyo, biglang sinabi, mag-transfer ka lang po ng 10,000 ngayon through GCash and so on and so forth. Magpapadala kami ng acknowledgement receipt sa inyo bilang patunay na ang inyong 10,000 ay ipapasok, natanggap namin, at yung 10,000 na yon i-invest namin sa ganitong klaseng stock doon sa Germany o sa Hong Kong o saan man. Di madali kang manloloko. Diba, sapagat napakabilis na nga po mag-transfer ng pera ngayon. Warning signs. Well, ayun nga, unsolicited calls, unsolicited emails, you receive phishing emails at times, di ba? Ingat din po tayo, lalo ng mga phishing emails, yung mga nagre-require sa inyo na mag-provide ng mga login credentials. Don't do that. Don't do that. Walang bangko, walang negosyo ang magre-require sa inyo na magbigay ng inyong credit card, what do you call it? Credit card credentials ng ganun-ganun lang. So sometimes banks would even require you to provide a one-time PIN, yung OTP na tinatawag, di ba? By the way, I encourage everyone na nagsasagawa ng mga online banking. If you do online banking, please enable your OTP, your one-time PIN feature para ma-direct ang inamang mga financial transactions to your cellphone. Para kahit pa paano, meron pa rin po kayong control doon sa paglabas-pasok ng inyong mga pera kung saan mang mga online sellers or online merchants ninyo binabayad yung inyong pera. Now, well, itong mga teaser letters, glossy brochures, they're not in the past, they were being sent by mail. Pero ngayon, bihira na hindi na masyadong ginagawa ito. But they do it online. So you receive emails with glossy background, glossy pictures, and so on and so forth. Right? Now, these boiler room operations, they use high-end posh business addresses in areas where multinational corporations are located para di umano, just to convince people na di umano sila legitimate. O nga naman, ang kanilang address nasa Ayala Avenue, ang kanilang address nasa BGC, ang kanilang address ay nasa Araneta Center, nasa Quezon City Central Business District. O nga naman, makita mo, ganun ang kanilang business address sa kanilang letterhead o di kaya sa kanilang website, mapapaniwala ka dahil, well, hindi birong pera ang bibitawan mo para mag-invest ay para magtayo ng opisina sa mga lugar na yon, di ba? So these are some of the examples, real life examples. YYY Corporation, they only operated for 9 months, no? A number of criminal complaints were filed against the incorporators, the owners of YYY Corporation, and the interest rates that they were offering was around 8 to 18% a month. Just imagine that, 8 to 18% a month. Sobrang laki po nun. Just look at the bank kung ilang porsyento ang na pwedeng tubuin ang inyong pera, hindi ba? Kaya pag 8%, medyo malaki na po yun. Hindi na masyadong kapani-paniwala. Well, we've talked about Bernie Madoff. He is the operator of the largest investor fraud ever committed by one person. His Ponzi scheme was said to be the largest Ponzi scheme in entire history. When he pleaded guilty to 11 felonies, In March of 2009, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison. The maximum allowed, 150 years. Wala nang labasan yan. Siguradong patay na po siya doon. At $170 billion in restitution para bayaran yung kanyang mga naging biktima in terms of, basically all his properties, everything that was associated to Bernie Madoff were liquidated para ibalik yung mga pera ng kanyang mga investors. So again, in some instances, may mga happy stories pa rin naman. May mga naibabalik pa rin. Pero I doubt na nakuha ng lahat ng mga investors ni Bernie Madoff ang lahat ng mga perang kanilang ininvest doon sa taong ito. Well, who would forget Celso de Los Angeles? Si Celso de Los Angeles ay isang, if I'm not mistaken, he started as a rural banker somewhere in Santo Domingo, Albay, if I'm not mistaken, no? So, ang ginawa ni Celso de Los Angeles, meron siyang legitimate na businesses, mga rural banks, kumikita mga yon. But he started offering securities, investment products, no? Well, when these investment products were not earning from the investments, ang ginawa ni Mr. De Los Angeles was he was taking money from his rural banks and he was defrauding people left and right. So, ayun na nga, ang naging problema eventually, pumutok yung kanyang Ponzi scheme kasi hindi na nga ma-sustain yung return of investment na kailangan may balik niya dun sa mga tao. If I'm not mistaken, he died in prison, Mr. De Los Angeles. Ito naman si yung Aman Futures Group, si Mr. Amalillo, ito yung binabanggit ko kaninang Filipino-Malaysian. Well, he's still in Malaysia now, if I'm not mistaken. Marami din po siyang nalokong mga tao at hindi talaga nabawi sapagkat si Mr. Amalillo is currently in Malaysia. For a time, Mr. Amalillo was imprisoned in Malaysia, but eventually he was freed when he was able to serve his sentence. If I'm not mistaken, ang naging dahilan para makulong si Amalillo sa Malaysia ay something to do with illegal passport, fake passport, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not quite sure anymore. But when he was freed from his incarceration in Malaysia, he was not extradited to the Philippines. Hindi siya binalik sa Pilipinas at hindi niya pinanagutan dito sa Pilipinas ang kanyang ginawang Ponzi scheme. Ang naging value ng kanyang panluloko ay umabot hanggang $12 billion pesos, no? Kasama sa mga nakasuhan nga, yung nabanggit ko kanina, yung dating mayor ng Pagadian City na si Samuel Ko na nakulong din. So, how many Filipinos were victimized by Mr. Amalillo? Well, 15,000. Salient features of laws that have been enacted to fight in illicit investment scheme. At this point of the lecture series, we're going to do a quick rundown of the salient features of basically two laws that would govern the regulation, prosecution, and investigation of illicit investment schemes. Basically, these are the Securities Regulation Code and the Consumer Act of the Philippines. Let's begin by examining some salient features of the SRC pertinent to our discussion for this particular series of lectures. Now, we'll be taking a look at basically three provisions. So let's begin with Section 8.1. Now, Section 8.1 basically mandates that securities shall not be sold or offered for sale or distribution within the Philippines without a registration statement duly filled with and approved by the Commission. Ito yung sinasabi natin in the previous discussions wherein we would need basically two types of permit. So basically a registration permit registering the corporation or registering the business, whether be it in the, in this particular case, since this is the Securities Regulation Code, we're talking about corporations. So, yung incorporation permit, the articles of incorporation would not be sufficient for you or for anyone interested to sell duties, securities, investments, stock options, and the like kapag wala silang permit to sell. It is only given by the Securities and Exchange Commission. That has to be very clear. Kaya pag merong nag-offer nga po sa atin ng mga securities, kinakailangan makita natin kung ano ba yung permit na hawak nila. Ito po ba primary o secondary? Pag primary lamang, hindi pa pwede. It has to be primary and secondary. Now next, ano bang pagpapakahulugan ng pag sinasabi nating securities? What do we mean by securities? Well, Section 3.1 basically presents a definition of it. Now, it pertains to shares of stocks in any registered company within the Philippines or abroad, or participation or interests in a corporation or in a commercial enterprise or profit-making venture and evidenced by any of the following. Kinakailangan meron kang katunayan through any of the following. 1, a stock certificate, a contract, or an instrument, whether written or electronic in character. Now, securities are investment instruments other than insurance policy issued by a corporation, by the government, or other organization which offers evidence of debt or equity. Hence, kapag kayo ay bumibili ng stocks, ng shares, sa isang korporasyon, bibigyan kayo nila ng isang instrument, di ba? Ang tawag nila doon, stock certificate. Isang pagpapatunay na kayo ay nakabili, halimbawa, ng 5 shares, 5 shares doon sa isang korporasyon. Be it listed in the stock exchange or not, so long as it is a corporation duly registered in the Philippines through the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ngayon, pwede rin naman ang inyong securities ay pinagkaloob ng gobyerno in the form of whatsoever. It could be in the form of a bond or whatsoever. No? Pwede rin, ito ay isang kasulatan, isang written instrument provided by an organization. If that organization would like to provide you a share of its equity in exchange for an investment, monetary investment, or any other form of investment. See, investment can be in the form of monies or services. That is why in some corporations, partners can either be capital partners, yung nag-i-infuse ng kapital, nagpapasok ng pera para sa pagpapalago o pagpapasimula ng negosyo. At yung iba namang partners are what are called are those that we call as industrial partners, na yung kanilang puhunan ay yung kanilang galing na taglay, yung kanilang kaalaman na taglay. So, yan po yung pagpapakahulugan natin ng securities. Now, ito pa ay isang mas malawak na pagpapaliwanag tungkol sa securities, gaya ng nasabi natin. It could be shares of stocks, bonds, debentures, notes, treasury notes na pinagkakalob ng ating gobyerno, evidences of indebtedness, di ba? Kapag kayo ay nagkakautang, o isang korporasyon o di kaya ang isang organisasyon o di kaya isang tao nagkakautang sa isang organisasyon o di kaya isang korporasyon or vice versa, magda-draft po ito ng isang written instrument na nagpapatunay na mayroon ngang ganong klaseng relasyon ng pagkakautang sa pagitan ng dalawang partidong ito. And other kinds which could be like investment contracts, certificate of interest, or participation in a profit-sharing agreement. Napakarami po. So, lahat po ito ay mga klase ng securities. Sa letter G, yan ang tinatawag nating catch-all provision or other instruments as may in the future be determined by the Commission. So, ang tawag po natin dyan sa legal parlance, yung catch-all provision. Kasi yung A to F, yan po ay specific, naka-identify na. Pero in the future, what if meron pang isama ang komisyon bilang kabahagi doon sa categorization ng securities. So, catch-all provision natin yung letter G. So, kung titingnan ninyo, kung hihimayin natin ng mabuti, letter A to F, napakarami po yan. So, kung meron pong individual, an individual who would come up to you and sell this, any kind of securities that would fall under these categories, you'd have to ask for their secondary permit to offer the same. Again, hindi sapat ang primary registration lamang. Hindi sapat na sila rehistrado sa SEC, hindi sapat na meron silang tax certificate, hindi sapat na sila rehistrado sa BIR, merong resibo at kung ano pa man, kinakailangan sila ay otorisado ng komisyon na magbenta ng ganyang klaseng mga securities. Ngayon, ito ay napakahalagang tanong. Ito po ay galing sa isang resolution sa jurisprudence ng ating Korte Suprema, Power Homes Unlimited versus the Securities and Exchange Commission. Ang katanungan, according to the Howey test, is what is an investment contract? Paano ba matawag ang isang dokumento bilang isang kontrata? Merong mga kategorisasyon, merong mga definition, may mga elemento, may mga qualifiers. Una, whereby a person makes an investment of money. No? Nagpapasok ng money ang tao. Pera. It could be in any form. Kasi money is not necessarily just yung barya at saka yung papel na salapi. It could be any other that has monetary value, so to speak. The person makes an investment of money. That's one. Second qualifier, in a common enterprise. Isang negosyo na common na pwedeng pasukin ng dalawang tao o higit pa. At siya ay merong expectation of profits. Siya ay umaasa na yung pagpasok niya ng pera bilang investment, yung kanyang pera ay tutubo. Diba? At yung pagtubo na yon is to be derived solely from the efforts of others. Yeah. So yan po yung mga qualifiers na tinatawag natin. According to Power Homes Unlimited versus SEC, ayon sa jurisprudence na yan, yan po yung 4 na qualifiers na dapat natin tingnan para malaman kung ang isang pinapasok natin ay pasok doon sa pagpapakahulugan ng investment contract. Now let's look at Section 26 of the SRC. Ito naman po ay ang mga pagpapaliwanag ukol sa mga tinatawag natin mga fraudulent transactions. So let's see. It shall be unlawful, ipinagbabawal for any person directly or indirectly in connection with the purchase or sale of any securities to, una, employ any device, scheme, or artifice to defraud. Pinagbabawal na gumamit ng mga panloloko, mga pamamaraan na makakapanloko. Obtain money or property by means of any untrue statement of a material fact of any omission. Diba? Pag mangungumbinsi ka para mag-invest dun sa negosyo, dun sa investment opportunity ng iyong inilalako, bawal magtago, bawal maglihim. Kinakailangan sabihin natin lahat kung may mga risks involved, kung ang kumpanya ba na paglalaga ka ng pera ay financially sound. Baka naman mamaya yung ini-invest niyang pera ay para lamang ipambayad sa isang previous na pagkakautang ng kumpanya. At dahil nga ibabayad sa isang previous na pagkakautang, hindi siya magagamit sa lalong pagpapalago ng kumpanya. Kaya hindi makakasiguro yung investor na lalago yung perang ipinapasok niya kasi pambayad nga lang sa utang. So, pinagbabawal po yun. It is not allowed. You are not allowed. The seller should never omit any material fact. Diba? Necessary in order to make the statements made in the light of the circumstances under which they were made. They should not be misleading, so to speak. Bawal manloko, bawal manggoyo. Diba? So, maliwanag na maliwanag po yun. Kapag lahat ng nalalaman mo tungkol doon sa papasuking investment opportunity ng taong kinukumbinsi mo ay dapat voluntarily mo ipaalam doon sa taong kinukumbinsi mo. Next, ipinagbabawal din to engage in any act, transaction, practice, or course of business which operates or would operate as a fraud or deceit upon any person. No? A charge for violation of Section 26, fraud, may be filed along with a charge for violation of Section 8.1. Ang ibig sabihin po, kapag kayo ay nag-violate sa any of the provisions under Section 26, any of the three provisions stated therein, pwede rin ilagdag kapag kayo ay non-registered. Diba ba? So, dalawang provision ang inyong na-violate, 8.1, sapagkat hindi kayo rehistrado, at saka kung anumang mga violations meron under 26, Section 26. So, meaning to say, pero kung ikaw naman ay rehistrado, of course, you have not violated Section 8.1. You have merely violated Section 26. Section 28. No person shall engage in the business of buying or selling securities in the Philippines as a broker, dealer, or act as a salesman, etc., unless registered as such with the Commission. So, meaning to say, ikaw mismo bilang, so yung Section 8.1, ang nare-remind sa atin noon, ang pinapaalala sa atin, kinakailangan merong permit yung kumpanya mismo to offer. Diba? So, registered ang company under the primary license. Pangalawa, kinakailangan yung kumpanya mismo ay rehistrado bilang para magbenta ng securities. Itong Section 28 naman ay isang provision na nagpapaalala na yung salesman mismo, yung broker mismo, yung dealer mismo, kinakailangan siya rin ay rehistrado para magbenta sa komisyon. Sapagkat maliwanag sa SRC, sorry. It is very clear in the SRC that anybody working as a dealer selling securities must be registered as well. So, come to think of it, when someone offers you something, securities for you to invest in, so you also have to take a look at his registration bilang isang stockbroker. So, tatanungin mo siya, kayo ho ba rehistrado bilang stockbroker? Kayo ho ba rehistrado bilang dealer? Kayo po ba rehistrado para makapagbenta ng mga bonds? At kung ano pa mang klaseng mga securities instrument. Ba? So let me rephrase that. Let me reiterate that. Yung tao mismo na nagbebenta must be registered with the Commission. At yung kanyang binibentang mga securities bilang isang kumpanya ay kinakailangan meron ding registrasyon para magbenta ng ganong klaseng securities. Now, let's take a look at Republic Act 7394, the Consumer Act of the Philippines. Now, chain distribution plans or pyramid sales schemes means sales or devices whereby a person, upon condition that he makes an investment, is granted by the manufacturer or his representative a right to recruit for profit one or more additional persons who will also be granted such right to recruit upon condition of making similar investment, provided that the profits of that person employing such a plan are derived primarily from the recruitment of other persons into the plan rather than the sale of consumer products, services, and credit, provided further that the limitation on the number of participants does not change the nature of the plan. So ayan po ang maliwanag na that's the legal definition under the Consumer Act of what pyramid sales schemes are. The profits of the person employing such a plan are derived primarily from the recruitment of other persons. So, yung pag-recruit ng downline natin. So, yan ay maliwanag na maliwanag sa Consumer Act. So, maliwanag yan na pinagbabawal po yan sapagkat hindi ho po pwede na ang inyong kita ay nanggagaling sa recruitment mo sa ibang tao. Diba? Article 53 under the same Consumer Act says, maliwanag, chain distribution plans or pyramid sales schemes shall not be employed in the sale of consumer products. Deceptive, unfair, and unconscionable sales acts or practices ang tawag po dito. Pinagbabawal po yun. So, gaya ng nabanggit natin in a previous discussion, ano nga bang pinagkaiba ng isang network marketing? Sorry. Ang tanong ay, is network marketing a pyramid scheme? Now, direct selling refers to face-to-face selling to the consumers through independent distributors or salespeople. It is a legitimate marketing medium that is used to sell practically anything. Wala hong problema sa direct selling sapagkat ang talagang kinakabuhay nung nagbebenta ay yung pagbebenta ng consumer product na kanyang daladala, ano man po iyon. Ang pinagbabawal ay yung pyramiding. Pyramiding is an illegal money scam often confused with legitimate network marketing plans where people are convinced to pay money for a chance to profit from the payment of others who might join late. Yun po yung pinagbabawal. Hindi pinagbabawal sa negosyo na magbenta ng directly doon sa mga tao. Primarily because the return, the gains that you get are generally taken from the selling of the product. If you're selling mga pampaganda o nagbebenta kayo ng pagkain, mga fruit juices, mga vitamins, walang problema sapagkat ang kita mo nanggaling doon mismo. Magkaiba po yun doon sa pyramiding sapagkat ang pyramiding talaga po siyang isang illegal na money scam sapagkat ang kita ay nanggagaling doon sa ibabayad ng susunod ng mga individual na papasok pagkatapos sa iyo mula sa downline mo. Kaya yun po ang pinagbabawal. Diba? Ilang beses na po natin nasabi yun. We cannot overemphasize the fact sapagkat dito sa Pilipinas napakarami, ubod ng dami ng mga korporasyon na nagtatago doon sa kwalifikasyon ng multi-level marketing when in fact they're nothing more than illegal pyramid schemes. So, simple lang ang barometer. Ulitin natin, kapag yung tao na nagre-recruit sa iyo, ini-emphasize niya na ang kita mo ay manggagaling sa downline mo at hindi sa pagbebenta dahil napakahirap di umano ng pagbebenta, good luck sa iyo. Maaaring ikaw ay binibiktima na ng isang illegal pyramid scam. Now, ano naman yung tinatawag nating multi-level marketing, yung napaliwanag na natin ng mga nakaraan. This is also known as network marketing, direct selling, word-of-mouth advertising. Okay. The participants, yung mga kaanib, they sell goods or services directly to consumers, not through a retail store. Walang middleman na tinatawag. Magmula doon sa producer, magmula sa manufacturer, kayo bilang taga-benta, kayo bilang direct seller, direkta ninyong binibenta doon sa mga consumers, no? The participants may recruit new participants to engage in the same marketing program and receive a commission on sales by participants they have recruited. But then again, I have to qualify, the commission that you receive are not as significant as when you compare to pyramid scams. Na maliit na porsyento lamang po ang inyong matatanggap magmula sa kanilang pinagbentahan. Now, the upline, of course, refers to yung downline, yung alam na po natin ng mga yan. Now, bakit legal ang multi-level marketing? Well, one, napakababa ng kanilang mga enrollment fees. Yung Herbalife, for example, ang kanilang enrollment fees ay nasa mahigit 2,000 po lamang. At yung mahigit 2,000 piso pong iyon ay makakatanggap na sila ng ilang mga produkto na maaari din nilang ibenta. Now, hindi in a multi-level marketing, you are not required to purchase a substantial inventory na maaaring hindi mo mabenta sa sobrang dami. Diba? Ngayon, meron pang ibang mga qualifications dito. Kayo ay tinitrain nila na maigi, lalo direct selling nga po ito, hindi madali magbenta ng produkto. They'll train you to do direct selling. Now, product sales are encouraged and supported. Now, the income is not dependent on the recruitment of downline participants. Now, another good feature of an MLM is yung inventory mo can be returned for full refund. And the income representations are truthful and substantiated. Hindi katulad ng iba na magpapakita ng napakagagarang kotse, mga mamahaling mga alahas at kung ano pa man na hindi naman talaga product na nabili gawa ng pagbebenta na kung ano man. Now, ang DSAP, yung Direct Selling Association of the Philippines, meron silang 8-point test. Una, the 8-point test is basically a test devised by DSAP to check whether the company offering a product, investment or otherwise, is actually whether the company offering a product is a multi-level marketing, therefore legitimate, or it is merely a pyramid scam. First question, may produkto bang ibinibenta? Okay. Are commissions paid on sale of products and not on registration entry fees? Yun nga, ang commission ba ay nagagaling sa pagbebenta at hindi sa pangre-recruit? Okay. Is the intent to sell a product, not a position? Yeah? Pang-apat, is there no direct correlation between the number of recruits and compensation? Kasi kapag meron, medyo may problema yan. Okay. If recruitment were to be stopped today, will the participants still make money? Kapag hindi ka na magre-recruit, ikaw ba kikita pa rin ng pera sa pagbebenta lamang ng produkto? Pag yes, okay, valid, legitimate. Kapag hindi ka nakikita, kapag hindi ka nang recruit, well, red flag. Is there a reasonable return policy, product return policy? Under the DTI code, di ba? Merong mga kondisyones na nag-aalaw ng pagbalik ng mga produkto. Sinusunod ba ng pinapasukan mong direct selling company yan? Yan ba ay sinusunod noong multi-level marketing company na pinapasukan mo? Pag oo, walang red flag. Pag hindi, red flag, you have to check. Number 7, ito yung ulit-ulit kong sinasabi. Do markets have fair market value? Meron bang actual commercial value yung produktong binibenta? Baka naman mamaya yan cobre kama na nagkakahalaga ng 10,000. Saan nakita ng cobre kamang nagkakahalaga ng 10,000? Meron noon nag-attempt ng ganyang klaseng panloloko. Ang sinasabi nila kaya mahal ang kanilang cobre kama, yung kanilang blanket, sapagkat ito daw po ay nanggaling pa sa Estados Unidos at ang mga fiber ay nanggaling doon sa cotton fields ng isang lugar sa Estados Unidos na malamig, di umano. Kaya nagbibigay ng comfort yung kanilang cobre kama. Hola baloney. So kalokohan is pure bullshit. Kaya nga, forgive me for my language. At pangwalo, is there a compelling reason to buy? If the answer to all of the question is yes, dun sa mga 8 ito, ibig sabihin ay legitimate na MLM ang pinapasukan mong kumpanya. Pero, kapag isa lamang sa kanila ay no, medyo delikado, gray area, red flag, malamang yan ay pyramid scam. Check, check, check. Check automatic sa DTI kung may registrasyon. Check automatic sa SEC kung may registration. So, yun po ang pagtatapos ng mga discussion natin with regards to investment scams. So, bago ko po tuluyang tapusin itong ating discussion, nais ko lamang po kayong bigyan ng pagpapaalala ulit. Gaya ng nasabi ko na po dun sa mga naunang mga lectures, if the offer of an opportunity appears too good to be true, then it must not be true. So, wag ho tayo masyadong magpapadala sa mga matatamis na mga pangako that this particular investment opportunity, you should grab it in as much as this would make you rich overnight, or this would make you rich within a year or two. That's not possible if you don't put hard work into your investment, no? So, lahat po ng mga matatamis na mga pangako ay maaring pangako lamang po. So pag merong na bumulong sa inyong mga isipan na nagsabi, teka, ba't parang ganoon? Then it must not be true. On that note, I conclude this series of lectures, and I do hope that you will not get victimized by any of these by these illicit investment scams or schemes. Thank you and good day.